Metox, named after its manufacturer, was a pioneering high-frequency very sensitive radar warning receiver, RWR, manufactured by a small French company in occupied Paris, which could detect ASV, air-to-surface vessel radar, transmissions from patrolling Allied aircraft. The radar had a fairly crude display by today's standards, but was able to give the range and an approximate direction within an arc either side of the aircraft heading. To counter this, Wing Commander Humphrey de Verde-Lee, later OBEDFCAFC, developed the Lee light, effectively a powerful floodlight steered by the ASV radar. The U-boat was initially tracked by the radar with the light following the radar track but switched off. Once the returns were lost, the light would be switched on and the U-boat would be bathed in light and very vulnerable. The sudden light was often the first indication that the U-boat had been found, and the Lee light was initially very successful, particularly in the Bay of Biscay. Metox was the German answer to the British radar, rendering it completely ineffective. The Metox sets received the transmitted pulses from the ASV and rendered them as audible beeps. It enjoyed the usual advantage of radar detectors over radar in that the signal is direct and only had to travel one way, whereas the radar has to detect the very weak reflection from the submarine. Most radars increase the number of pulses and decrease the width of the pulses when switched to a shorter range. The shorter pulse widths allow the radar to look at closer objects. If the Metox set started beeping at twice the rate, the U-boat knew that they had been detected. By the time the aircraft was close enough to the U-boat's position to energize the Lee light, the U-boat was well under the water. As a bonus, the Metox set would also provide warning in excess of visual range in daylight. Metox was eventually countered by a version of the 10-cm H2S radar which Metox could not detect, and once again the Lee light forced U-boat crews to refuse to run surfaced at night. Even during the day the new radar was easily able to detect a submerged U-boat's periscope or snorkel, assuming they were deployed, which earlier radars employing longer wavelengths could not do.